Mortal Kombat 11, what can I say? It's a bunch of mixed bags in the eyes of fans, with people hating it and loving it at the same time. Now, we're just gonna have to wait till the 12th game to figure it out. But, what is so bad about this game, and what is so good? Was it bad from release date? Has it improved now? And why is it so mixed? Well, join me in this video to find out what is so good, and what is so bad, and what makes this game Mortal Kombat 11. First, we're going to be talking about the multiplayer aspect of this. How does the combat feel? How does the fatalities? How's the characters? And how's the DLC? Now, first, let's talk about the DLC. Now, the DLC is going to be very good this time because we have Melina, we have Robocop, we have the Terminator, we have all them. I'm going to just put it out here. I think this is one of the best DLC seasons we've seen in a Mortal Kombat game. Though short, it's got an expanded campaign. Now, the campaign / story mode, whatever you want to say. I mean, a lot of people say campaign, but you know, that's kind of more story mode. But that will be done in a different video to not make this a goddamn hour-long video. So this is going to be split into two parts. But if we're going to be talking about DLC, I think this game has the best ones, with characters such as Rain showing up with his own abilities and fatalities, with Bohemian Rhapsody being referenced, as I'm a huge Michael Jackson and Queen fan. So if you give me them references, you get bonus points in my books. So that is amazing, and gotta say, if we're talking about DLC, the guest characters are out of this world. We've got Rambo, we've got the Joker, we've got Terminator, we've got Spawn, we've got all these characters, and they all are amazing. We've got just amazing voice actors and fatalities to go with it, which we're going to be talking about right now. The fatalities are absolutely amazing in this game, with some of the best I've seen in the series. Although Nightwolves are pretty weak, a lot of these are very great, with Kotal Khan having an amazing one turning into a lion. That is absolutely incredible. We've also got some amazing ones from Sub-Zero, with ripping the spine out, but in a different way, and so many classic ways, as well as Scorpion using his spear in a fatality. Now, if we're going to be talking about finisher moves, we're going to have to bring up friendships, which have made their grand return, with my favourite being Raiden's, with the Kid Thunder coming back, but in a whole new look, which is referencing this dance group that has done so many amazing things, with the dance moves and lights, and I think they actually did a Mortal Kombat one, which I will probably show a screenshot here. I think the friendships are absolutely amazing in this game. We've also got brutalities in this game, which are also great, but can be quite annoying at times when you're trying to do a fatality and you accidentally do a brutality. So that is a little annoying, but that is okay. But we're going to get into something that actually is I've experienced and heard about, that it makes this game so mixed. Fatal blows. Now, people want this to be skipped, or they're just weird and they prefer X-rays, but I'm going to give my opinion. Fatal blows are better, and I think they just do so much better, so you don't have to see the same animation over and over again in the same game, and you only see it once per game, per character as well, so you don't just spam the X-rays as well, which just makes it a lot better, and you actually have to do more moves than just take a few hits and do a few hits to the opponent to then get an X-ray. Now, I also think the gore is so good, and some of this is actually way more gorier than some of the fatalities in the earlier games, apart from Mortal Kombat 9's Noob Saibot fatality.
Noob Saibot wins. Fatality.
Now, that is all good, and I think this is a big improvement over the X-rays personally, and I hope they bring it back in a future game. Although, I will say, skipping the fatal blows might not work, as I've seen a lot of people say this to my channel, but I think if you can't skip it due to it being online, some of these, and just would make it inconvenience, but that is entirely up to NetherRealm to fix that, or do it how they want to. Now, how does the combat feel? I mean, this game is called Mortal Kombat after all. It's not called Mortal Kombat for no reason. Now, the combat in this game, I am very happy to report that the combat is absolutely amazing in this game. Although competitive Mortal Kombat, also known as Combat League, is sweaty as hell. But I think the combat is just great and a big improvement over Mortal Kombat X's combat, which is still similar, but I do think it's a bit of improvement and feels great. The game also looks great with the graphics as well, which makes the combat also feel better, with the combat actually having easy moves. And I like the pausing of the game, which shows the move list, which is in the most recent games, and the release of Mortal Kombat 1, 2 and 3 being re-released. You can pause the game and you see the moves, which is great for beginners, which gets us more Mortal Kombat fans, thus having a better game and bigger community. Now I think the combat in this game is just got much better combos and moves, as well as a lot more unique stuff compared to earlier games. I'm looking at you, Mortal Kombat 3. Now, a big part of this combat system, which is brand new as well, is actually being able to amplify your moves for defensive and offensive reasons. I think this is a great addition, as you can do so many new things with way more damage, which makes combos so much more rewarding and better. Now, this does come with an amazing thing, which I find so much fun to do against new people, such as my friends, is you go as Liu Kang, and then you just do the bicycle kick for infinite amount of times. That is an absolutely amazing move, and I hope they do fix that in the next game, or just keep it for jokes, because it's absolutely amazing. Absolutely amazing. There you go. But I think the combat is better with this whole amplify and fatal blows, which makes it a bit more unique compared to Mortal Kombat X's just doing what Mortal Kombat 9 did, just better graphics and new characters. Now I also think this also works in the favor for guest characters, with we've got some more unique moves, which also gives it their own ability to have more distance, more close abilities, rather than having all the characters be more close range, which is what happened with Mortal Kombat X, with Gore being close range, Sub-Zero being close range, Tanya being closer range. We've also got so many characters just being that close range, and we didn't get as much like distance characters like RoboCop and all that. But I do think it's better to have more close range than long range, as they are quite annoying. But it's just showing that Mortal Kombat has evolved so much and has more diverse characters, rather than just going close combat. You can now go away from the screen and make a full screen combo, so you don't just have to pin them at the corner of the screen. You can actually go from the middle or the side and still go to the other side and be fine and still have a working combo. Now, to talk about what is wrong, well, the customization in this game, although it is great and a very cool thing to see carried over from Injustice 2, I wish there was a bit more customization, as I would like to control a bit more elements in this game, but that might come in Mortal Kombat 12, you never know. Like, it's not as advanced as it was for Injustice 2, which would have been cool to see. Also, I would like to say the crypt was a great part of this game, having to be able to explore Shang Tsung's island with a lot of Mortal Kombat 1995 references to the movie, which is great, as well as seeing some levels from the original game. I am a great sucker for Easter eggs, and I'm a big fan of the original arcade games, hence the arcade was made, so it's great for me to see that as Mortal Kombat 2. And Mortal Kombat 1 is probably my most played Mortal Kombat games, with Mortal Kombat 11 being not too far behind. But I think the customization in this game is very good, yes, but I think they could flesh it out more in a future game of Mortal Kombat 12. I also think the crypt would be cool to see in the next game, although I'm not a big fan of jump. That's why although they do exist in this one, it's not as frequent as it is for Mortal Kombat X. So how do the modes stack up? What about King of the Hill? Well, King of the Hill is one of my favorite modes from these games, and it's great to play it, as you're going to have a lot of people watching and then judging and scoring your performance, as well as fatalities are great to show in front of people, just to rub the wounds in, although it is annoying when you're the one on the receiving end of it. But I think it's great just for you to get some feedback from other people, to then maybe get better combat experience, and then work on what you need to for your future games, as well as it's fun to get like a tournament and then verse people as well, so you don't have to constantly go back into several matches and you can just stay in this one lobby. I also think it would be great for live streaming and stuff for people, because it would just be great to have maybe you and then a bunch of your friends, or just audience there, and it would be a great experience compared to a lot of people just going into one lobby and then constantly having to go in and out into a next game, which is still fine for casual, but I also think King of the Hill just thrives in that area. Now, Kombat League is fun, but very competitive, so if you're not the sweatiest of players and you're like me and are not the best of not the best with combos and stuff, then don't go to Kombat League. It's fun, right? It's good, but don't think you're gonna win, alright? You gotta really work hard, and then if you do win, you're probably just spamming the same moves 3 times, or not, or you're just Raiden and you actually know how to play Raiden. It's just that, alright? It's all it is, alright? Or you're gonna meet that guy with Shiva just going up and down, up and down, up and down. Alright, it's just them. Which that also leads me into balancing. Now, this game's balancing. This game has a lot of good balancing as well as a lot of bad balancing. Now, this is what makes it such a mixed bag for me. I love this game so much, but the mixed bag is that the combat is great, but the balancing between some of the DLC characters just ain't there. With like Shiva, her move going up and down, there should be like a little bit of a delay between them, because you could just spam that thing to go up and down all day, and then the person that below, there is a way of countering it, but for a lot of people, they can't do that, so it makes it very hard. There's multiple examples of this. Maybe we could talk about teleporting away, which is always normal, but you could just do that for some characters, such as Melina, going up and down, and just, you know, all around, and people just spam their moves. There should be like a bit of delay between these moves, but apart from that, I mean, there is a little bit of fixing, but it's been like that for a while, that people are going to get used to it, and that just might be me, but I know from other experiences from people versing Shiva, me playing it or other people playing it, it's just a very annoying character, as well as a few others to verse, especially in Kombat League. Now, we'll talk about the Towers of Time, like the towers and all that, but not much really happens there. It's kind of just the same combat, but as a playlist. The endings are very cool though, but I prefer the endings from Mortal Kombat X. Now, the guest characters also have amazing endings, and I do prefer Melina's ending compared to MKX's. I do think it's very cool, but I just can't really talk about it. It does change a lot, but I do like you can get more stuff for your characters by playing the towers, as well as the gems and all that, which you can use for your own benefits. I do prefer that. Now, I also like that you can get skins in Mortal Kombat X. Now, I just prefer that over Mortal Kombat 11 style of just giving you little items. But I do like it. But it just changes every few hours and days, so I can't really talk about it, because it's basically just playing multiplayer, just the combat, just multiple times against an AI. So not much different. So without diving really into the campaign, this is basically about it. I do think Mortal Kombat 11 is an amazing game, although I would like to hear what you guys say in the comments below to tell me what you guys think. I think this is probably one of the best games they've done, although I do think Mortal Kombat 2 is how you should do it back in that arcade day. I think Mortal Kombat 11 shows how you should do it now for a fighting game. But next time we're going to be looking at the actual story mode and the aftermath story mode, so that will be more of that in the part 2, to not make this an hour-long goddamn video. I don't know how long that's going to go for, but I feel like it'll be here for a while. So if you want to see that, like and subscribe to the channel, as I post everything Mortal Kombat and Injustice every second day, and I'll see you guys all in that next video. Bye-bye.